Welcome back. I'm just kidding. We are going to start to finish and work on our spooky house today. I was so excited to hear how excited some of you guys were about this, and we're going to do some extra stuff to it to make it look even better. But I want to go over a couple things. Now, first of all, I mostly used cardboard with mine, and a lot of you had some really cool materials. So keep in mind, this whole project, you are the creative genius here. You are. You. So if you're using different materials, if you're using totally different things, if yours comes out completely different than mine, that is okay. This project is all about you solving the problem of creating a house out of recycled materials, okay? So if it's not exactly like mine, it's not gonna be exactly like mine, and that's great. That's what I'm looking for. As long as you're using your little brain and I'm using my little brain and we're making something, that's what's gonna make me happy. So we're gonna add some cool things today to try to make it look a little more like a haunted house. Now, one thing you can do that a lot of you were mentioning in the videos back to me is if you want to, you could make little windows and doors on this, but you need to be very careful. You might want to get your parents to help you start the hole. But watch, if you take your scissors and you very carefully kind of poke a little hole in, like I did here a minute ago. If you want to see it, I'll put one on this side too. I'm just going to very carefully, just super carefully, kind of poke a hole in with my scissors, like that. And if you have those rounded scissors, they probably aren't going to work for this. So like I said, you might want to get a parent to help you if they have like some other tool they could use, like if you have a parent that's got like a knife they can use, like a pocket knife. But don't you do it. Don't. I'm serious. If you get in trouble, I told you not to. But no, if you kind of very carefully poke a hole in your cardboard, you can then cut a line using your scissors, like this, okay? And it's not going to be perfect, but I cut a little line up, and then I'm going to cut a line over, and I'm going to cut a line over, and I'm going to cut a line over, and I'm going to cut a line over. So what I did was I basically cut an I, the letter I, okay? I poked a hole, I cut up, I cut over, I cut over, I cut over, I cut over. So I did a letter I. And if you do that, if you cut a letter I, now you can go in here.
Miss Birmingham, you have a package at the front door. If you will please go to the front door, thank you.
If you go now, I could take this and I could fold it out like this, okay? And I could fold this one this way like this. And now I have some spooky window in my creepy house. And I could do the same thing on this side if I wanted to. I could cut up, over, over, over. Maybe I'll do that real quick. This one over, this one over, and I've got my little shutters, okay? Now that looks fine the way it is, or I could even cut some little stripes and glue them on so they look like shutters. I'm not going to do everything I say today because we don't really have time for that, but I'm just making a lot of suggestions. Like I said, your house is going to look totally different than my house, so I could like glue on some little stripes for shutters, and that would look really cool, okay? Same thing for the door. This time, watch this. I'm going to poke very carefully, oh so carefully, and I'm going to cut up, okay? And I'll cut down as well. But for this one, I'm gonna make, instead of an eye, I'm just gonna make this kind of shape right here. I cut up, I'm gonna cut over, and I'm gonna cut over. It's like half of an eye. And then if I do that, I can fold it this way, and that could be my little... That could be my little front door to your spook house. Okay? Awesome. Now, there are other ways you could do doors. What if I took a little egg carton here? Check this out. And ooh, that would look cool. I'm going to cut off half of this, like so. And I could make that my door so it pops out a little bit. Check this out. I'll cut up, I'll cut over. I can do the same thing. Oh, that's funny. Maybe I'll rip that off. But I can have my little front door be like that, and I could glue it on. I could glue that on to make my front door a whole little entryway. Ooh, I could even have some steps leading up to it. You could attach all kinds of stuff to your house to make it look cool. I could make a doorknob by cutting a little small circle. Circles. Stick that bad boy on there, out there, out there. Boom. But you can see I'm already starting to build up my house more and more and make it look even more epic. So again, you probably want things to dry. If you want your glue to dry, you might want to tape it down first so that it stays in place while it's drying. It's probably not a good idea, like Mr. Galloway, to hold your house up while you're working. Now, there are infinite things you could do to your house. I could cut little, watch this. I could cut little shingles by making a bumpy cut. That sounds like a funny last name. Miss Bumpy Cut. I can make a little bumpy cut like this. And I could glue this on for like little shingles for my roof. If you did one and then another and then another and then another, it'd have a really cool pattern on your roof. I could, ooh, if I want this to look like a spire, like the top of a tower, I could take a long strip of cardboard and I could kind of curl it like a cone, you know? I could kind of cone it, and then I would stick that on the top. An easy way to cone is to use paper instead, because you can cone paper so much easier than that thick thing. But you know how to make like a little cone like this. I could chop it straight across like that. I'm just going to use a piece of tape. I could tape this bad boy to hold them together. And then I could stick a little cone on top of my spire, so that would look really awesome. That looks cool with my drawing, actually. And I could glue that or tape it or whatever I need to do. There's all kinds of stuff you can add. You could add little people in the windows. You could add little tombstones. You could add a yard. You could add a fence. You could add anything. Let me show you one real last fun thing to do that might be really neat. If you have white paper, okay, and you do want it to look haunted, you could cut. You might want to draw it first and cut it out. That would probably be much easier than what Mr. Galloway is doing, but I'm kind of speeding through this. You could cut out some little ghost shapes. Like this dude right here. And then maybe I'll put a little ghosty mouth on him. check this out. You can make it a pop-out ghost. If you get a strip of cardboard and you cut a long strip like so, and then you accordion fold it, which is where you fold up, fold down, fold up, fold down, fold up, fold down. So you have this little accordion. Then we'll put a blob of glue on the bottom. Ooh, watch this, watch this. I'll stick it right here, okay? And then I'm gonna make it smaller so he fits inside my door, and you'll see why in a second. It's gonna be so funny. Just gonna make him just a little smaller. Ooh. And then you put a lot of glue on this end. Is this gonna work? Oh my goodness. Once this is dry, you can put him inside the door and close it, and when you open the door, he could like boing right on out. I'd have to make him a little smaller so he goes tong, but you could have little floaty ghosts around your house like that. All right, guys, I know mine is half finished. I could spend hours on this making it look epic. And I'm not asking you to work on this for hours, but if you want to make your house look super cool, then you can keep on adding on to it. Actually, I have a big hole right here. So let me say one more thing. You could, if yours is like mine with the little roof hole, where did my shingles go? You could shingle down the front, like with a small piece and then a bigger piece and then a bigger piece, and that would cover this little hole. Or you could just get a piece of cardboard and kind of cut a triangle and glue it on. There's lots of ways to do it. Anyway, I can't wait to see how your little ghost houses turn out. I know it looks crazy with all the different little recycled bits, but it also kind of looks like it's got its own little charm to it. It's kind of made out of the things around your house, which almost makes it look like it's come back from the recycling bin to live again. Oh, sorry. But I hope you had fun making our little, oh my gosh, that's so fun. Making your little haunted house, and I can't wait to see what yours looks like. All right. All right. I'll see you next time, guys. I hope you had fun. Remember, if you didn't want a haunted house and you wanted it to be more of like a mansion or a castle, instead of ghosts, you could have knights. Instead of creepy looking stuff, you could just make it friendlier. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Mr. Galloway is so scatterbrained. Am I right?